Okay, hi. So before this video starts, I just have to tell you that all my footage from the range, okay, the audio is basically unusable because there's a lot of heavy traffic around the range, and yeah, all the talking and all that is just you can't hear it clearly. So I have to dub over all my clips, which is why this video took so long to make. Okay, but anyway, this video is a short review of some of the fiberglass bowls from Alibow. Okay, so Alibow has quite a large catalog of bowls, many different designs and many different price points, and they have fiberglass as well as laminated bowls. Okay, so this will only be about the fiberglass bowls that I was able to gather from the other archers at my local archery club. Okay, so this video is intended for beginners. If you're looking at Alibow's catalog, you want to find something economical and easy to use. There's some pointers here you might want to consider, as well as for people looking to upgrade from their existing bowls. You want to try out something and you don't want to spend too much money just to try out something. Maybe this video will be of some value as well. Okay, so first up we've got the Mongolian bowl. It's not the Genghis Khan that you can find on the website. I don't think it's listed on the international website. But anyway, it's a Mongol design bowl. So because of the string bridge, we think it might be trying to represent the transition between the Mongol and the Ming period. But anyway, this bow is 35 pounds at 31 inches. It maybe could go up to 32 inches, but we would not recommend overdrawing it. So we think it's quite a good starter bow for beginners. It's quite light and compact, and it's quite maneuverable. And I think if you're interested and in that general time period, but you can't decide between the Mongol or the Ming design, I think this bow is quite okay for you. So as you watch me shooting, my jaw length is around 30 inches, around there. So of course, if you have a very very long jaw length, maybe this bow isn't for you, but I think it works well with most shooting styles, whether or not you anchor your face, or you're using a floating anchor, or you're following a certain style of form. So it's a good workhorse bow. It does suffer from some of the common issues with fiberglass bows, like having a very fat arrow pass and very wide limbs. So it's not really very accurate if you're shooting casually, but it's not something that you can't overcome with a lot of practice. Okay, so next up we've got one of their newer releases. It's called on their website. It's called Judi the Sharpshooter. So this bow we got it at 40 pounds at 32 inches because they measure it at 32 inches. So you are expected to draw quite far, but of course there is quite a considerable stacking involved. So it gets harder and harder to draw as you get to 32 inches. Okay, but shooting experience wise, this is very good. Like, for the price point, it's a very good fiberglass bow. It's got a very narrow arrow pass, narrow limbs, and it definitely is a sharpshooter. You can be very accurate with it. So you can see my friends over here shooting. It's a good workhorse bow in my opinion. Okay, you can use it with a very wide range of shooting styles. And it doesn't really take a lot of effort to be very, like, almost pinpoint accurate on at closer distances. It's Alibow describes it as a Ming period bow. So if you're into Chinese bows, this is I would say is quite a good purchase. Okay, so next up we've got the Yarha 1, okay, the first version of Alibow's fiberglass Manchu bowls. Okay, so it's got a very solid build. It's built very strongly, and it also has some foam on the limbs, okay, to absorb even more of the impact of the bow bow limb snapping back, when you release the string. So of course, it's a Manchu bow. It is designed for you to draw back very very far. Okay, so for my friend over here, he likes to draw to his chest level. Okay, so it really can max out the draw length on this bow. So their Manchu bows are normally measured at 35 inches. So for this bow is 40 pounds at 35 inches. So if you are drawing to your face, you're anchoring at your face or near it, you might not be getting the most out of the bow, basically. Okay, so at least for the Yarha, I'm not too sure about their laminated Manchu bows. At least for the Yarha, it's a brute weapon. Okay, don't expect to be super accurate with it. I don't think you can really compare with laminated bows, but you really want to get a good kick out of your bow, and you like to go for power and penetration. I think it's a nice novelty bow to have, of course, and of course to train yourself for longer draw lengths. Okay, so you have to take note that Manchu bows are designed to shoot relatively heavy arrows. So Alibow does sell Manchu arrows, so they are able to customize for you if you leave a note for them. And in terms of shooting experience, the Yarha one, it behaves like a regular fiberglass bow. It's got quite a normal draw force curve, and it's actually quite light compared to the Yarha 3, which we'll be seeing shortly. So you've seen the Yarha 1 now. You get to see the Yarha 3. Okay, so it's their latest version of their fiberglass Manchu bows. So if you look at a side-by-side comparison with the Yarha 1, okay, you can see one of the biggest differences is the sear length and also the sear angle. So that's significant because as I said, the Yarha 1 has a more normal, so to speak, draw curve. You start easy, and then as you reach your full draw, it gets harder and harder. But for the Yarha 3, there's a very significant let off effect where it starts out very hard to draw, but once you get past it, it suddenly becomes very easy. It's almost like pulling a compound bow, very strangely. Okay, so in terms of other changes, the grip, okay, there's a slight change, slightly more ergonomic, so it's nicer to do your follow through on it. Okay, so in terms of the shooting experience, it's quite a weighty bow. I think it's heavier than the Yarha 1. So if you're not used to that, it's something to take note of. And just another caveat, if you are thinking of buying a Manchu bow, in my opinion, there's not much point of getting one if you are getting it at lower poundages, because then it becomes a very inefficient bow. But if you really want one, you can't wait to get your hands on it, even though you can't really put heavy poundages, just by all means go ahead, of course, right? It's just something for you to take note of. Okay, the Kaiyuan Warbow. Okay, so on their website they have a Kaiyuan fiberglass, and then they have the Kaiyuan Warbow version. So it's designed to shoot rather heavy arrows at heavy poundages. So this bow, its owner got it at 35 pounds at 28 inch and 45 pounds at 32 inch. So once you get past at 28 inch, I think the stacking can be quite deadly if you're not used to it. So you can see there's the very distinct Kaiyuan design where you have that hook on the end of the sear, supposedly to pick up arrows from the ground. So the limbs are quite wide, and the arrow pass is actually also quite fat as well. So I mean, it's a very strongly built bow, of course, but similar to the Mongol bow earlier, it's not really built for in accuracy, basically, right? But again, not something you cannot overcome with practice. So just a caveat about this bow. Okay, the person who got it, okay, he doesn't like it. Okay, he had bad shooting experience with it. So it's not the best, especially if you are coming over from laminated bow. Right, it definitely feels less efficient and less, snappy, and definitely a lot heavier in terms of the weight of the bow. So it's advertised as a Warbow version. If you want, I think you should get it at higher poundages as intended. So if you'd like to try out, the Kaiyuan design, I think just stick to their normal Kaiyuan fiberglass bow. Okay, so the last one we have here is the Qinghai 1. Okay, so this year Alibow did come out with the Qinghai 2, but we don't have it. Okay, we only have the first version. Okay, so it's a Tibetan design, okay, influenced by the Manchu design when the Manchus conquered China. And with side by side with the Yarha tree, okay, you can tell immediately that the Qinghai is just a lot shorter than the Yarha. And also the sear angle is not as pronounced. Okay, so in that sense it's similar to the Yarha one. And of course the sears themselves are not as long. Okay, so ignoring my atrocious shooting because I was really tired that day, I'm not sure about the differences between the Qinghai 1 and 2, but at least for this one, it's quite a handy bow. There's not much hand shock, and it's quite light, so it's quite pleasant to shoot actually. Okay, so that's all for this video. So I'm not sponsored by Alibow, okay, although I wish I was, but anyway, I hope you learned something. This video was of some value to you and help you in your decision making in making your bow purchase. Okay, so if I did make any mistakes or I made any false claims, okay, please tell me in the comments or anywhere else. Okay, I don't claim to be a very good archer, okay, because I'm sure you can see my shooting, I'm not very good. Okay, so we're all just learning here. Okay, so please feel free to enlighten me on any mistakes I made. Okay, thank you.